So recently I did a video called Efficiency versus Effectiveness, where I quoted Ron Baker's book, Implementing Value Pricing. And since then, I actually chatted with Ron to talk about the contents of the video, and we kind of had a conversation about his evolution of the thinking of the two concepts, especially the definitions of efficiency versus effectiveness. So we're going to talk about that. I'll put a link in the description below somewhere under the video so you can watch that video if you want to watch it in conjunction with this one. So let's do a quick summary of the last video where we said efficiency is doing things right and effectiveness is doing the right things. In a nutshell, efficiency is about measuring the short-term effect of any action that you're taking, and usually that measurement is a metric, is something that we can mathematically calculate in one way, shape, or form. It's typically a ratio, it's a division of time. Most of the times, so many units of output per hour or whatever happens to be, where effectiveness is actually a judgment. And effectiveness is a judgment because it is subjective. It means a human being determines whether you are being effective or not, or you determine, or you are the judge on whether your actions are being effective or not. And the reason why it's so important to expand that efficiency, it's about measurements or metrics really. Efficiency is about metrics and effectiveness is about judgment, is because it is possible that when you set a ratio for efficiency and you set it up front between two parties and you say, hey, we're gonna measure the output per hour, so many words per minute, so many transactions per hour that we're entering into an accounting system. If you predetermine that metric up front, two people can look at somebody's work and you can both pretty much arrive to the same conclusion because it's a sort of mathematical metric. So neither one of you at that point, when it comes to efficiency, can disagree on whether something was efficient or inefficient because it's just a number. But then we place a judgment call, right? It's a subjective concept where each party can determine whether that number is good or that number is bad. So there's no intrinsic efficiency in itself. Efficiency by itself in a vacuum doesn't exist. Efficiency is simply a mathematical measurement, still requires someone else to determine whether that number is good, bad, high, low, whatever happens to be. Where effectiveness is a judgment, which means it is subjective. It means it requires a human being to determine whether that action or the results of that action is ultimately effective. Now you can have the same two people looking at observing that action and placing a judgment call on that efficiency, and each person can have a different thought about whether or not that action, whether it's efficient or not from a mathematical perspective, is actually effective, depending on the perspective that each person may have of what the result should look like, of what effectiveness looks like at the end. So again, efficiency is a metric, effectiveness is a judgment. To take it one step further, it's also really important to note something that Ron said, is you can be efficient with things, but you can be effective with people. Again, because effectiveness is a judgment and is subjective. The only entity per se that can determine whether something's being effective or not is people. So effectiveness has to do with people, person to person, perception of each person, right? Where efficiency is about things, it's about using tools, it's about using machines, right? And I think that certain levels of efficiency are important. Generally speaking, we want to make sure that we are tweaking our actions to make them faster, better, less wasteful. I think that's valuable. But the problem is whenever we are obsessed with measurements, when we're obsessed with efficiency, it will drive culture to take the wrong or negative actions. So one of the classic examples is taking shortcuts, okay? I think all human beings by nature are maximizers. Like, we don't want to waste anything. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to waste money. We don't want to waste resources. We don't want to take the long road when there's an obvious short road and it will get us to the same location. I think it is our nature to want to be efficient. It is our nature to want to take shortcuts. The problem is, in the real world, sometimes when we take shortcuts simply for the reason that we want to be efficient, because of our obsession of efficiency, we take a shortcut and we screw something up. Typically, that mistake is double the cost that it would have been of you taking the long road or taking the path less traveled, per se, taking the actual steps that you need to do in order to achieve your goal. There's a saying in Latin America, in Spanish, that says, "El vago trabaja doble." And I don't think there's an English translation for that. It means the lazy person works twice. And that alludes to the times where you are, getting some bags from the grocery, from the car to the house. And in order to make less trips, because you want to be efficient, you try to hold as many bags as possible in your hand, in your finger, and you try to make just one trip and grab all the stuff and bring it to the house. Now, what happens if a bag breaks in the process, eggs fall and they break? We wasted the entire trip. That shortcut became more expensive than doing it right the first time. Okay, or we break our back, we hurt our back, our hands hurt, our fingers hurt, because we were taking the shortcut for the sake of shortcut. So this is the culture of efficiency that we live on nowadays. And because of computer, and because of technology, because of the internet, because of social media, all these sorts of benchmarks and all these numbers are so easily accessible that we fall into the trap that we must compete against the benchmark. One of the common misconceptions that professionals have, especially when a new idea is presented to them, is, well, who else is doing this, right? So they want to see that someone else is doing it, that someone else is being profitable from it, that someone else is being successful before they try that idea themselves, right? They're just trying to mimic, right? Because that would be efficient. It would be efficient to do the things that are known to work, and that's it. Whereas taking the risk of doing or dabbling into the unknown, running towards the risk with the knowledge that you could make a mistake, that it could go wrong, that maybe you draw absolutely no profits from it, but you take enough risk until you land on something that works really well and the profit outweigh the cost of the risk, then you become effective if the way you measure effectiveness is overall profits, right? The profits of the entire system, the profits of the entire time period, per se. I actually get the sentiment that the culture of efficiency is negative, and the culture of efficiency is what drives accountants, for example, to charge by the hour, or any professional that's worried about taking the risk of giving the client a flat fee for a difficult to scope project. Most professionals prefer to charge by the hour, because by the hour feels low risk. By the hour feels efficient. By the hour it feels that you're tying effort with what you're charging. Now the problem with that is, and you could always argue that if the customer is happy to pay by the hour, you're being efficient, and I get that, and I get that sentiment a lot. But the problem is that in the long term, clients or customers don't like unknown pricing. They don't like to give people blank checks and say, yeah, whatever it's going to take you, it's what I'm willing to pay. So the challenge that happens with this whole concept of efficiency and effectiveness is if we forget that the customer is the ultimate judge of value and quality. The customer is the one that you care about their perspective of what's being effective or not. We need to keep in mind that what we're doing needs to be effective from the perspective of a customer. Now, I'm not asking that you do unfulfilling work. I'm not asking that you do things that you don't want to do just because the customer wants to do it. Of course, you need to do things that are effective for you. You need to do things that fulfill you personally. You got to do things that allow you to drive to reach your personal goal, your career goals. But once you identify that action or that service that you're providing does align with your own personal perspective of what being effective is, then you want to match that with the customer's perception of effectiveness. So don't allow the culture of efficiency to drive your mindset or to drive you towards doing the wrong thing, right? As long as you have a purpose, right, for life and for business, you have a purpose, and you know who your clients are, you know what you want to achieve, you know the goals that you want them to achieve. Once you have the purpose in place and you are always, as an ecosystem, as a system, effective at fulfilling that purpose, that effectiveness will drive efficiency, because everything that you will do in between zero to arriving to that purpose will be for the sole purpose of being effective and reaching that goal. So allow your purpose, allow your goals, and allow what you consider to be effective and what your customer considers to be effective to drive your actions, and that will drive efficiency and that will drive your profits. So I would love to know what you think about this.